What's going on guys, Unknown Player here, and in this video we take a look at potentially some secret exotics that Bungie might have snuck in to the April update. Now this could be real or it could be nothing, but I think it's pretty interesting and I want to show you guys and get your thoughts on what you think about these. So you might remember back when the Taken King launched, there were two exotic weapons that we know exist in Destiny that were cut from the Taken King, and they were in the game files. You can see them in the Destiny database, which I'll link in the description, and they appear to be a Void and Solar version of the Thunderlord we know and love, which of course is an Arc exotic machine gun, but it appears that we also have a Solar version and a Void version. Now those icons and images of these two weapons have been appearing in quite a lot of places, but now we actually seem to have got them in the April update page. So this, which I'll also link in the description, is the main Bungie.net April update page, which lists everything in the April update. And if you scroll to the very bottom of that page, you'll see some images of the vault, and it appears that Bungie have kind of like snuck this in as images to see if no one would notice, and this is without a doubt two images, and you can see the two icons of the Void and Solar Thunderlord. They're very pixelated and very hard to see, so of course I'll link in the description for you guys to see itself. But if I zoom in, you can see what definitely appears to be exotic machine guns, which don't match any other weapons that we have right now. There's no other weapons these could match, and they are without a doubt the icons for the Void and Solar Thunderlord, which we had seen disappear for quite a while. We didn't know whether they would come back into Destiny, but they are definitely the icons. You can see just literally at 1 pixel of the red on the right one, and the other one is just like the plain color, so you can assume that's the Void one. There's nothing else they could match, so these are definitely the Thunderlords, and the question is, are they actually going to be coming into the April update? Now, it is definitely the kind of thing that Bungie would do, and they have done in the past. They never put all their cards out on one table, and they would like to have some kind of surprises and not show every exotic that is coming in the April update. They would have a couple of surprises and want us to be surprised when we do actually unlock them. So it's definitely a Bungie thing to do, and I think something that is quite likely. Now, the other possibility that this isn't true is that this could just simply be a mistake. Maybe those Thunderlord icons aren't supposed to be in that screenshot and it was an accident and they weren't supposed to be included, but I just don't see that really happening, to be honest. I mean, they've obviously got teams of people that will scour every single press icon and image to make sure that everything they put out there is what's supposed to be and legal, isn't revealing any information. So I can't imagine this would be a mistake, and I think it's definitely deliberate, and even if it was a mistake, they probably would have removed it by now. So I think this is definitely a subtle hint for them to throw at the bottom of the webpage, which they didn't announce, by the way. They just added it there and they didn't really draw too much attention to it. So I think it's a subtle way for them to kind of hint that we might be getting some new heavy machine guns. So as a refresher who might not remember where these weapons first surfaced on the internet, they're actually shown off in a couple trailers released by Bungie, and they were seen in a couple gameplay reveals for the Taken King, and that was where it was supposed to be included. Of course, they decided to remove it later on and not include it, but these were actually shown off in early trailers. We can see the Solar Lord, the Fire Lord, whatever it would be called, but the Fire version, we can see that being used right here first person. It's definitely a Thunderlord frame, but it's got these flames coming out of it. This is without a doubt that weapon. And then we can also see the Void one in this trailer right here, which is being held by a hunter who, funnily enough, is wearing the Hood of Malok, which was later cut, and back then it was called the Helm of Krolok, and it was since renamed to the Hood of Malok, which is now going to be included in the April update. And another thing in that image is that the Warlock is wearing the transversive steps, which are exotic boots, which of course were then cut as well. So a lot of things don't make it into the final build of games, and these are prime examples of things we see in trailers that don't actually end up in the game. Now, if you look at the database files that I mentioned, they are just labeled as unknown machine guns, and they don't have an official title. We don't know what the names of them are. We can see the icons in addition to the perks they have, and the perks are identical to the Thunderlord we have, in addition to two changes. The two changes are, of course, firstly, the element is, of course, different. So the Void Lord has the Void damage instead of Arc, and the Solar one has Solar damage, of course. As you can see right here, the last perks are actually named slightly different. They do the same thing, but they have different names. So on the original Thunderlord, as you can see right here, his last perk is called Lightning Rounds, and this means the weapon fires faster and more accurately the longer the trigger is held. It's a very fun perk to use and makes the Thunderlord what it is. And then on the Solar version, we can see Incendiary Rounds is the name of its last perk, and the last one is called Negative Rounds for the Void version, of course. That is how they are different. That's what these weapons actually do, and I think it would be really cool if they did actually sneak these weapons in, and if it turns out to be a true thing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think the Thunderlords are coming, or do you think those icons in the vault images were a mistake? Now, something you should probably know is that the actual weapons in the vendors in the tower, for example, they're actually getting a perk refresh. That was something only announced today, but you should definitely grab any weapons you haven't got yet, like the Hungurian, the 1000-yard stare, some of the best weapons in the game, because their perks are actually going to be rotated slightly. They'll still have the same statistics like the fire rate and the impact and that stuff, but the perks like the Firefly and the Triple Tap, those will be different. So make sure you grab any weapons you like, because with the April update, they're all going to have brand new perks. Now, one more thing is that Bungie gave us some more details about exactly how and when the April update is deploying, and we got some info about its sizes. So this is how big the update will be on all of your platforms. You can see if you've got enough space. You probably do. This is just in case you need to free up some space. and they also gave us a time window of when to expect the actual April update to deploy onto your console, and that'll be between 10 AM and noon in Pacific time, which is around about 6 PM to 8 PM in the UK. I've also got another video coming out in just a few hours, which is another Trials of Azara's flawless highlights, and that'll be up very shortly, so stay tuned for that one. I'll link it in the description when it goes live. But other than that, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Give a like rating if you did. Stay tuned for more videos on this channel covering the April update in its entirety, and I'll see you guys on the next video.